it's Jonathan, and welcome to another Sigillum Multarum video. Today, we'll be talking about the flag of the Czech Republic, a Central European country whose government suggests it be called Czechia for short, since 2016. This is the first Central European country to be covered in the Sigillum Multarum video. You may remember how at the end of my mask opening video, I mentioned a YouTuber called Combat for Combat, whose icon features the flag of Slovakia, subscribed to my channel on November 19th, 2020. Well, Combat for Combat's icon inspired me to do 2 episodes on Sigillum Multarum. One for Czechia, whose history is somewhat connected with Slovakia's, and the other for Slovakia itself. The date that these 2 episodes are being recorded on, December 29th, is the day that the 1989 Velvet Revolution ended, resulting in the non-violent transition of the former country of Czechoslovakia from a communist state into a democracy, and then into the 2 independent states of Czechia and Slovakia in 1993. Therefore, I've decided to release a video about the flag of Czechia right now, then Slovakia just afterwards. In this video I'll talk about the history of Czech flags, then go over its symbolism. Now, let's talk about the history of Czech flags. Dejiny. History. The history of Czech flags can be said to begin in the Middle Ages of the Duchy of Bohemia, which was founded in the 870s. The duchy existed before the modern concept of national flags, though the closest thing to a flag of the Duchy of Bohemia would be its war flag, a white field with an eagle on it. The eagle is derived from the duchy's coat of arms. This flag would remain in use until the late 12th century. Parts of the duchy became independent as the Margraviate of Moravia in 1182. In case you didn't know, a Margraviate was a territory in the Holy Roman Empire ruled by a Margrave, a nobleman tasked with defending the HRE's borders. Moravia would go on to use its own flag and bell, a blue field with a red and white eagle on it. Meanwhile, in 1198, the rest of the Duchy of Bohemia became the Kingdom of Bohemia, using a red field of a white, stylized animal, which may be a lion, on it. Since both the Kingdom of Bohemia and the Margraviate of Moravia were part of the Holy Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Emperor's standard can also be said to represent these 2 states. From 1526 onwards, the King of Bohemia and Margrave of Moravia was also the Archduke of Austria, which did not have an effect on the flags used in the region until the 18th century, when Austria, and by extension the Kingdom of Bohemia and Margraviate of Moravia, adopted a black and gold bicolor as its flag. After the fall of the Holy Roman Empire in 1806, the Kingdom of Bohemia and Margraviate of Moravia continued to exist as part of the Austrian Empire, which continued to use the black and gold bicolor from before. However, it is around this time that Bohemia began using its own flag, a white and red bicolor which derived its colors from its medieval flag. This was the bicolor that was used in Bohemia after the Austrian Empire became Austria-Hungary in 1867. So there were 3 flags used to represent Bohemia in the late 19th century. The civil ensign of Austria-Hungary, the flag of Austria of the time, and the flag of Bohemia itself. This lasted until after World War I, which resulted in Austria and Hungary splitting in 1918, with several more of their territories becoming independent that same year. One of them was Bohemia, which united with the formerly Hungarian-ruled land of Slovakia to form Czechoslovakia on October 28, 1918. Czechoslovakia initially used the 19th century Bohemian flag, but for various reasons this flag's usage within Czechoslovakia was short-lived. We'll get to another one of the reasons in the symbolism segment, but another, more obvious reason for this flag being phased out is that it looks almost exactly the same as the flag of Czechoslovakia's neighbor, Poland. The only difference between the flag of Bohemia and that of Poland is in the shades of red and the proportions, with Bohemia using a 2:3 proportion and Poland using a 5:8 proportion. As a result, on March 30th, 1920, Czechoslovakia added a blue triangle to its flag, creating the flag that would later be used by Czechia. However, the history segment is not done yet. This flag would be used by Czechoslovakia continuously until its dissolution in 1993, unless you count the 1939 to 1945 German occupation, which saw the Czechoslovak flag be suppressed, then restored after World War II. Czechoslovakia briefly became a parliamentary republic from 1945 to 1948, when the communists seized power. Despite this coup, the Czechoslovak, and by extension Czech flag, did not change its appearance. In 1968, the Czechoslovak government attempted to promote democratic reforms in what became known as the Prague Spring, but most of them were not carried out due to intervention by the Soviet Union. However, one of the Prague Spring reforms were carried out in 1969. Czechoslovakia became a federation consisting of the Czech Socialist Republic and the Slovak Socialist Republic. Despite the creation of these entities, it would take another wave of reforms for them to adopt their own flags. A series of non-violent protests called the Velvet Revolution occurred from November 17, 1989 to December 29, 1989, resulting in more successful democratic reforms throughout 1990. In that year, the Czech Socialist Republic and the Slovak Socialist Republic removed the word socialist from their names, and each of them adopted their own flags, with Slovakia adopting a Russia-like white-blue-red tricolor, which will be covered in the next episode, and Czechia re-adopting the pre-1920 Bohemian flag. Later, on January 1st, 1993, Czechoslovakia split between Czechia and Slovakia in what became known as the Velvet Divorce, and in order to distinguish itself from Poland, Czechia re-adopted the Czechoslovak flag that same day. Slovakia criticized Czechia's usage of the Czechoslovak flag, citing a 1992 Czechoslovak law prohibiting either of its two republics from using the Czechoslovak flag as their own. However, the Czech government responded by saying that because Czechoslovakia no longer existed, that law is no longer in effect, thereby allowing Czechia to use the old Czechoslovak flag, which it still does to this day. Now, let's go over the symbolism. Symbolism. The flag of Czechia has several interpretations. White and red can represent the historical region of Bohemia, while blue can reference Moravia's blue flag with a white and red eagle on it. The three colors put together can represent Czechia being made up of both historical regions, which is the other reason I alluded to as to why Czechoslovakia added the blue triangle to its flag in 1920. In addition, an unofficial interpretation of these colors states that white represents purity, red represents the blood of Czechs that fought for freedom, and blue represents the cloudless sky of Czechia. It is also worthy to mention that while red, white, and/or blue is used on almost all national flags, this combination of colors on flags is particularly significant in Czechia, as well as Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Russia, and Serbia, as the pan-Slavic colors, which represent how the majority of these countries' populations are members of the Slavic ethnicity. The pan-Slavic colors come from the flag of Russia, the largest, most influential, and most famous of the Slavic countries, which we will cover in another video. For now, on to the outro of this one! And now you know about the flag of the Czech Republic, also known as Czechia. In this video we have covered the history of this Central European country's flags, as well as its meaning. Just after this episode comes out, I will cover the flag of Slovakia in the next episode. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on it. If you enjoyed the entire channel, subscribe to it. And if you want to know when my next video will be coming out, click the bell button after you subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.